Congresswoman Debbie Halvorson is joining us. Good morning, Congresswoman.
Good morning. How are you guys?
I'm in better shape than you are. You're in big trouble in the 11th District with that vote for health care. Have you got another job lined up?
Hey, well, first of all, can I say Happy Veterans Day?
So, of course you can.
Sure.
How are you, Roma?
Yeah.
I'm good.
What's your next job going to be after you're voted out? Because that was a foolish vote for that health care bill.
Well, but let me tell you, that's one side of things. I've been listening to my constituents, and
you got to be kidding. You're in the 11th District. These people are crazed over you. They got pitchforks and torches around your office.
Maybe some of them, but you know what? I think that this vote was one that is going to bring about a healthcare exchange that is going to help small businesses be able to create pools where they're going to be able to bring costs down and find savings for the people that haven't been able to afford insurance. I don't think, Don, you realize that 60% of the businesses that the uninsured are small business owners because they can't even afford the insurance premiums because they have risen about 130% over the last 10 years.
Let me ask you something that's really bugging me, and that's this mandate that you will buy health care insurance. You will buy insurance. Under the Pelosi plan, the one that you voted for, you would be required by law to buy a health insurance plan. If you don't buy it, you will be fined. If you don't pay the fine, the government can send you to prison for 5 years. Don't laugh. That's not funny.
Well, and you know what? That is part of the bill.
That is part of it, and you voted for it.
I know, and that's not necessarily what will end up in the final bill.
Well, wait a minute.
Nobody's going to go to jail.
Well, yes, you will under the Pelosi bill, the one that you voted for. You must buy health insurance, and if you don't buy health insurance as an individual, you will be fined by the government. And if you refuse to pay the fine, you can go to prison for 5 years. But you voted for that.
The plan out of the Senate.
You know what, Don? Can you know what? If you're going to ask a question, how about if you let me answer it?
Go ahead and answer it.
Okay, that is not unlike when you're asked to buy car insurance.
No, it's absolutely unlike that.
Okay, well, let me explain it. That is the actual piece in the legislation says if you are knowingly evading paying.
Yeah, like refusing. Mm-hmm. There's no way in the world the United States government can force me to buy something.
For 1 second here, how it's different from auto insurance. First of all, driving is a privilege, and a lot of people do not have cars.
Right.
You choose whether you want to buy a car or not to buy a car. Then you have to get licensed because you were going to take the car out on America's highways. So that makes it a totally different thing than everybody being mandated to have health insurance.
Right, but how about if we just take a look at this overreaching fact that the goal of the bill
is to get everybody insured, sure.
If we start, and that's what I think we
Do
need
you
to
actually
look at.
believe that the government can successfully centrally plan medical and insurance industries, that the government is capable of doing that? I mean, we've seen just the vaccine, which is a very small element. We've seen various different programs that have been disastrous. And just that basic premise is what worries me. Do you think the government can plan this?
If you evade taxes, you go to jail. Now, let me talk about the overreaching part of this bill is if we were to start insuring the young and the healthy, and we're making it very easy by creating this exchange, which is going to create more competition, allow people to buy insurance across state lines, and we make this pool larger, insurance costs will go down because you and I are currently paying probably about $1,100 extra a year for those healthy and young people who are not insured. They think they're bulletproof. They end up in the emergency room for, anything, and then we pay the price.
Yeah, I understand your thought. You spread the amount out, and everybody pays a little bit. Therefore, everybody's rates.
I can't disagree with that, Don.
But I sure can. If you're threatening to send me to prison, Debbie Halvorson, you're a dangerous woman.
Well, and then there's the 8% tax on small businesses.
Well, and I'll explain that. And it's not an automatic 8% on small businesses. What we're saying, first of all, if you have a payroll under $500,000, you're completely exempt. There is no 8%. And then after that, it's incremental. It starts out at 2%. Now, also, think about this. If you want to offer insurance and you like what you have and you want to offer this, great. Your 8% probably doesn't even start till your payroll is well over $750,000.
Wait a minute. You just went from $500,000 to now you've jumped up to $750,000.
Because between that $500,000 and that $750,000, it starts at 2% of your payroll. And so every couple $100,000, it goes up 2%, then 4%.
And you don't think that puts an onus on small business owners?
Well, they probably already have a bigger onus because they're paying for a very expensive health care, offering their employees health care.
Let me ask you a question beyond we don't want to get into the weeds here, discussing each one of the little aspects of this. Let me ask you generally, does Debbie Halvorson feel like she got suckered by the Democrats in the Senate because they're not going to pass a bill and you're going to be left holding the bag, having voted for a bill that the people in the 11th district, they want to string you up for this?
That cuts Medicare.
Well, it doesn't, and what it does is it cuts overpayments in Medicare, and what we do is we strengthen Medicare because we're closing the donut hole and we're paying for 50%. Out of the entire country, more seniors in Illinois fall within that donut hole than anybody else in the country.
I hate falling in a donut hole. You've avoided my question. My question is, do you feel suckered by the Democrats in the Senate who are going to leave you holding the bag?
Absolutely not.
What are the chances the Senate is going to pass a bill anything like the bill that you voted for?
No, probably not, and that's what they're working on now. But I believe that this bill is a fundamental guarantee that we move in the right direction to start doing something about bringing costs down for the American business owner who can't afford his premiums to offer small businesses
I want to know,
insurance.
Do you have a hobby? No, really, I'm serious. Do you have a hobby?
Let me, because I heard you earlier, and let me tell you something. I wish more elected officials felt like me. I do what I do because of what I am doing now. I don't do what I do for the next election. I'm not looking to be reelected. I'm looking to
because
do
I don't
my
think there's a
job
good chance
now.
of it.
Okay, are you going to be stuck with the same crap insurance that we are going to be forced into?
Actually, I have an exchange too, and I, in fact, if they were smart, I would never have called it anything but the Congressional Exchange. And I specifically, and I want to explain this. And we have an open enrollment which started November 9th and ends December 14th. I specifically went to do mine yesterday so that I could explain to everybody the process of what this exchange is going to be like. I went on the computer, and we have probably about 15 or 20 choices of health care. We pick anywhere from...
Do we get the same one?
Basically.
No, it's not the same one. The true answer is no, you don't get the same one. Because
everybody should.
But
and
we
I
don't.
hope that the final product is the same, because it should be. And I'd be more than happy to participate in the same exchange that we end up with.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a hobby, and I'll tell you what. A lot of people take their hobby and they turn it into a job, because I'm telling you, the people with the pitchforks and the torches, they are surrounding your
Our
office.
phone lines
Debbie
are going
Halvorson.
crazy.
They want.
You know what? And down in Roma,
Do you like tar and feathers? Because I'm telling you, you're going to be out of town on a rail.
Nobody is going to tar and feather Debbie.
No.
And you know what? And I appreciate that. I hope you'll have me back, because I'm always going to be that person that tries to give you another side, and I do what I do because I'm in office now. And if the people of the 11th Congressional District don't want me back, I've been in politics a long time, and I only do what I do because it's the right thing for what people put me in office for right now.
All right.
You are hearing a lot from one side, and I'm hearing a lot from both sides. And I was elected to put my position in for what I was elected for. And if the people don't return me, that's what this elected process is all about.
Do you like the picture that we put on our website?
I love it, and I still love you guys a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll hire me.
I might, because we need somebody to do a little work for us, and you're going to need a job. You are.
Actually, you know what?
You're going to be out of work.
Let me tell you something. I love what I do, and I don't need a job. I love being a public servant.
I know Adolf Hitler loved it. Joe Stalin loved it. Mussolini loved it. Hugo Chavez loves his job, too.
You know what, Don?
What?
You're the best.
You bet.
You know what? You just also, and I'll keep coming on your show, and I'll keep telling my side.
Okay. It's always a pleasure to talk, Debbie.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye, Debbie.
All right. Happy Veterans Day to everybody.
All right. Congresswoman Debbie Halvorson. Coming up, Doug McQuillan with the Wall Street Journal
You have
report.
such a picture of her that you didn't post.
I'll put the other one up, and then you choose which one you like best.
Okay.